Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to be trying to put floors in the backside of this 1953 Cadillac. I've done a lot of work to it already. I'm going to have some other videos on this eventually. Well, I didn't get a video of it, but I cranked it for the first time, and there may have been a mouse house in that exhaust, as you can tell. Nothing out of it, well, a little bit out of the side, but surely that won't be a problem. Boy, she's running like she ran yesterday. Listen to that thing purr. Oh, those belts. That looks okay. Oh, you know what? I should probably check the oil. It's got a little bit of a miss on driver's side bank cylinders, but other than that, it seems to be running pretty good. It shot a lot of mouse house out of the exhaust and a lot of condensation, but it's sitting here idling. I didn't even do anything to the carburetor. I just filled it, but it's sitting here idling. I didn't do anything to that carburetor, just fired right up. It's running pretty good so far. It's got some valve tap on the driver's side. It's got valve tap, but I'm hoping to run a little while and have it come out of it. So we'll see. Those goddamn rat bastards chewed through my floor. Now, they didn't actually chew through it. It just rotted. This is caused by them, though. There was a nest in here which literally rotted out the inside quarter structure. How the hell did that happen from mice? God, I hate those friggin' animals. Otherwise, not too bad. A little rusty, a little crusty. That is still one piece. I'm not touching it. I upholstered the seat. I taught myself how to sew and did that. That's another video. I still have to do the back seat, as you can tell. I got to do all that. Right now, I'm putting floors in the trunk. Unfortunately, the subframe, not subframe, but I guess you could call it the subframe for the back side of this trunk rail is completely rotted, and I had to make it new. So I actually got a head start on this, and I have that to weld into place. The downside is I need to completely recreate this corner. It's rotted about from here, it's rotted all the way about to here. You can see this side's a little worse for wear when it comes to the actual exterior metal on the car. I already did this corner. Let's see if I can get a light and not break the light bulb. I did this corner already, and don't mind the sealant. I tried going cheap and I used the wrong stuff, so that's why it looks the way it does. This side's already done. I sealed it up. I still need to trim out the sealant. My biggest goal here is I didn't want to touch the exterior metal because the paint is in such nice shape. This is all original paint. So I'm working my way over, but I figured I'd tackle the biggest headache and get this big chunk done, and we'll go from there. I've got that all cut out. A lot of this was rusty and destroyed. It's just, I don't want to deal with it. So we're starting fresh. I was saying I got that huge chunk cut out. I actually, turns out I already had this made. I just had it spun around like this when that's supposed to be the bottom side. Because I was looking at it and I already made the relief cut to where it can fold right in place. And that's where it's going to be, so I'm going to get that tacked in place and weld it up. Alrighty, I have that piece welded in. I still need to do that, but what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to apply my seam sealer, which is actually this stuff. It works great because it stays flexible and it's waterproof. So this is what I'm going to be using for my seam seal. That is not that. That is something else. That's a concrete sealant, which is different from the asphalt sealant. It had all kinds of like textured little crushed rocks in it, and it did not look good, which is why it looks the way it does. This dries nice and smooth, but I'm going to use a brush and, you know, I'm going to make it look as good as it can. Nobody's going to see this. I just need it to be structural and not leak. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that and brush it on. I have that laid. I am going to recreate this. Alrighty, using one of the most expensive paint stands that I can afford, I'm going to throw some color on this patch panel. This is the back side that you don't see. Alright, so I've got the side panel fully welded in. Now I just need to replicate the floor part and the, oh, that's upside down. I just need to replicate the floor part and the angle iron that goes down to meet it. So I'm gonna make that piece and I'll weld it in. Alright, so I've got my cardboard mock-up in place and basically cut to how I want it. I have my Sharpie here where it's gonna bend and where it's gonna follow. And basically I'm just gonna take this over to a piece of flat steel. This is my flat steel. So I'll take that on, lay this over top, cut that out, and I'll know my angle to bend. And I'm gonna have to cut this flush a little bit. A lot of times I found the easiest way to, you know, really get the bends right in your new patch panel, because obviously it's made. It's like my patch, or like my cutout. A lot of times I'll just take my fold that I think I need. It's probably not what I really need because I just eyeball everything I do, but I usually just do that. Hold my thumb along the line, along the bend I want, and notice that it's not exactly straight, and then just eventually force it all the way over. So then I can just match, in theory, the bend I need to make, because this is going to be the part of the floor, like the rest of it, that comes to the edge and drops down a 90-degree downwards. And so I'm going to put this in my vise and just beat the crap out of it until it bends 90 degrees. So let me do that and then I'll come back to you guys. So you'll notice when you're bending not a straight line on a piece of flat steel, you're going to have your metal bend out like this. And obviously the floor isn't shaped like this, and the cut I need is like this. Basically I like to make the bottom end up like that, of, you know, kind of close. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'm gonna mock it and test fit it. So with me eyeballing this in place, I actually had to do some clearance for the weld that's already there, but that's okay because I'm gonna be welding this whole thing. So it's not bad. It goes in pretty good. The only downside is I accidentally cut this a little short by roughly eighth of an inch. But with doing this, I should be able to push that down and weld it. You know, the floor will dip a little bit right there, but it's fine. Alrighty, so just like that, I've got my piece kind of just sitting in place, but it's bowing up on that end. It's dipped on that end. Let me see if I can get it. It's a little bowed, but it's touching the bottom there where I'm going to be welding it, so that's fine. I'm just going to bend it a little bit more by hand. It doesn't take a lot of effort, guys. It's just flat steel. Like, I can take it and just give it a little bit more oomph. And, you know, is that what the floor should look like? No, but you know what? I'm not going for a concourse car here. I'm going for a car that I can drive. Take to the ice cream shop. You know, I'm just looking for a car that I can have fun with. And preferably not have a hole in my floor. So it's lucky it's not getting self-tappers and a street sign. So, okay, there it is. I'm gonna weld it in. Tidbit I realized right after I took that video, this is ready to go in, which is great. However, I'm still missing a chunk, so I need to make that first. All right, I've got the underlying ridge laid in and welded up. I'm gonna paint everything. You can see a lot clearer because it's sunny out. The hole I'm talking about going to the outside panel. I could fill this with weld. One, that would take forever, and two, you would see it on the outside of the car, obviously, and I really don't want to burn the paint. Well, I can't leave well enough alone, so I actually ended up filling that whole hole. This is the filler plate from the bumper to the body. So I'm gonna leave that. I'm not gonna touch it. If anything, I'm gonna throw some seam sealer in there. But this is it from the back side. Just as ugly, but at least the car is, you know, relatively sealed now, theoretically. So I'm actually gonna take a grinder to this, or a flap disc at work, grind that smooth, and then see if I can mask off just this real tiny edge and paint that black. But I didn't want to leave bare metal. I didn't like that idea. And clearly this gasket ain't doing much either, so I ended up throwing a little bit of weld between the quarter panel and the rear body. But it is what it is. It's gonna look better than it did when it came in. All right, I've got that welded in. Not my best. This was pretty good, but that's because it was new metal. Ignore everything else, because again, I don't really care. It's gonna get painted and I'll never see it. Unfortunately, I ran out of wire, so this is gonna have to wait till I can get back from the store. But what I'm actually gonna be doing is a couple spot welds along the whole thing to really ensure it holds it down and to close that gap so it doesn't, you know, get moisture in there. I'm gonna seam seal underneath as well. But basically all I gotta do to finish this is just run down here and then across the front. And then this piece will be fully in, and then that will be fully patched.